Hello YouTube, this is the Wingman again. Hi. This economy sucks. I mean, the only thing you can do about it is prepare for it. Prepare for the collapse. I won't go into all the details of why it's collapsing or how it's collapsing, but it is collapsing. Trust and believe, it is collapsing, the economy. What can we do to prepare? Well, one is you'll need food. You'll need food, and you'll probably need some weapons. Camping gear is a good idea. I'm guessing probably some hunting rifles, fishing rods, lighters, firewood. I mean, you want to go straight out of the cities. You probably, I mean, if there's a world war coming next, which could be, I mean, you want to get out of the cities straight away because that's where all the disease, the famine, the violence, that's where it's all going to go down. You want to go out of the sea, you want to go into the mountains. There's protection, cover, snow, which is straight, clean water as long as it's not been trod on or trapped in by animals. You probably should just start preparing right now. I mean, I've read some things about it. I know I'm not very exciting. This is just my blog, sharing my thoughts. Hey, you wanna, if you don't prepare for this, you're gonna die. And one of the reasons why I'm doing this video is I really don't have the ability to prepare for this collapse. Not entirely, not yet. And truthfully honest, everybody who is listening to me, or should be listening to me when I say we need to start preparing me, just doesn't give a rat's ass. They don't care. They think they care, but they really don't care. And how is this possible? Well, they're not doing anything about it. They're not listening. They're not going looking it up. I mean, you just gotta look it up, really. That's all you really gotta do. It's coming. Everybody who is watching this should start preparing immediately. Start looking up the information. Start getting food together, supplies. I don't know when it's going to happen. Nobody really does, I think. There might be people who do. But you just got to start preparing. Preparing for the collapse. What are we going to see when this collapse ensues? When it actually happens? Well, one of the things that's probably going to happen is there'll be a massive food shortage, starvation, famine, maybe the same thing. Got issues with my head here, translating into my mouth. Sorry. There's probably going to be violence. I mean, let's face it, there are billions of people in this country, and because of the fact that the gasoline prices will be too high for any offshore countries or other countries to import gasoline to us. So there will be no gasoline, which means there will be no food coming in from other countries, which means the only food in this country is the food that grows in this country, and there's not much. So there is going to be a lot of people dying. I hate to say it like that, but it's the truth. And if you're not going to be prepared for it, you're not going to be prepared to, have mob situations where you're defending your home from on the top of it with a gun, defending off a mob, and people who are laughing at this are just are just ignorant. They haven't researched it. They haven't done the work to do it, which I have. Then you're not going to make it. Anybody who does not listen, who does not prepare, will not make it. I give, it takes 3 weeks for human beings to starve to death. I give it 4, 5 weeks for about 80% of this country to die off unless the National Guard ensues. Basically, the president signs, and he probably will sign military rule to the country. I'm not exactly, don't remember what the technical term for that is, but he probably will ensue it, and then we're basically the slaves of the government. And not that we're not already. I mean, we kind of are. I mean, let's face it. Everything that we get comes from somebody else. Nobody grows it here. The only real people who work for their own food, who have any real independence, are the Amish. And let's face it, they don't want to be affiliated with anything because they know they have doctrines in their, probably their prayer, whatever, that their Bible, their Torah. I don't know what the Amish use for a doctrine of religious, but it says to not do it, and they follow it. Might be a reason for that. I wouldn't know. But anyway, that's my opinion on the economy. That we're basically slaves to the government. We're going to even be more slaves to the government when this collapses, and that there's not much, there's no hope for this country. I mean, there might be a little bit, there might be a tiny bit, but I doubt it. You want to know why? Because the government's got guns and we don't. Speaking of which, very recently there is going to be a bill passed that will basically go against the freedom of owning your own gun in America, and it'll disarm it. This is unconstitutional. This is illegal. You can't do this, but they're doing it anyway, just like they did with Bush and everything. Get preparing. That's all I gotta say. Peace. This is the Wingman.